What a horrible, I don't know whether to be like, you know, like every day another one of my little, you know, gut feeling, straw poll, or just genuine experience, factual experience, just all leads to, sorry, this guy is 100% on the money. Anyhow, I know. Somebody gets paid $500 million to give that kind of advice about a Commonwealth Games. I know. Don't worry, I feel like a mug, I can assure you. Anyway, so overnight, we've had estimations of $10 billion of methamphetamine. That is one drug. Now I'm going to forget a few here, but we've got methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, MDMA, ecstasy. That's not to go anywhere near pharmaceuticals, benzodiazepine, morphine, good old-fashioned amphetamine. That's not a pharmaceutical, obviously. Well, it is, but I wasn't using it in that context. You know, so that's one drug, methamphetamine. Anyway, now, yesterday we had our illustrious leader, Jacinta Allen, and truth be told, some of her policies, talking about reversing, I can see she's trying. I believe it. I believe Jacinta Allen is actually trying. It's too late, but unfortunately her predecessor, Daniel Andrews, allowed for a decade of the most horrendous of horrendous situations. Now, what I mean by that is, let's reiterate over this one. And this, don't misread this for 1 second as having a go at those brave frontline police officers, even those brave detectives, Beza and all those kind of, you know, once they get up there and they're like the hit squad, they're just doing what they got dealt with. They got people above them, and they wouldn't be behaving. Put it this way, we well and truly know the effects of absolute power on people when it is left unchecked. That's not like, oh yeah, maybe. We've had this conversation. It's just a thing. It's just humans. You're only normal if you let absolute power get to you. So my point is, so through Daniel Andrews' reign, when he was meant to be reducing the women's domestic violence rate and didn't, and meant to be reducing all things law and order and didn't. Anyway, I've got to try and check myself and not get angry on this one. We had arrogant, mismanaged, high-ranking police officers, not those brave uniform ones, not the ones you see driving around in the divvies, the first responders, the ones that have got to pull up first on crime scenes where people's heads have been smashed on, put on a pole after being decapitated. Not those ones, because of a person suffering paranoid schizophrenia, when those in the higher offices see no problem with using AI bot technology to replicate the effects of paranoid schizophrenia, when you've got the genuine tragedy on show for everybody to see that is genuine paranoid schizophrenia. Anyway, so what happens, just quickly, they use it to try and isolate people. When they want to get at, say, a murder suspect, they'll use bot technology, because what happens with genuine paranoid schizophrenia, if you hearing, and I won't go into the ins and outs of it, you can tune in and I'll explain it better. But anyway, that aside, we've got this little chestnut, this little doozy. We had high-ranking police officers for over a decade, for about 15 years that I know of. Obviously, when you're in and out of prison, it can't be talked about. It hasn't been exposed. It is what it is. It was just like this little in-house secret. Everybody knew about it. The only way it got exposed, which makes it even worse, was when a bikie was testifying against another bikie or something along those lines. That's the only time it actually got exposed. What was happening was these mismanaged cowboys in the higher offices of Victoria Police were literally, factually out there in the mainstream media. It's done and done in the courts, said out loud it was happening. You can go and verify. It's all public information, FOI, freedom of information. You can verify it all. It's all, it's not, did it happen? It happened, mate. And this is a factor. And this is high-ranking, arrogant police officers were letting high-ranking drug importers and high-ranking drug dealers, those high up enough in the ranks they could arrange a gun import from, say, Afghanistan or southern Lebanon or something like that. So what we had was a situation for 15 years. Meth dealers, meth importers, just drug importers, organised criminals being let off prison sentences. In a couple of cases I know firsthand, they didn't do any jail. They did 3 months remand time I'm talking for kilograms of methamphetamine. They did 3 or 4 months remand time, got bail. In their time out on bail, they arranged their own fake gun import, pretended to the police that they're handing in, hey, look, you go cut a deal and just let me do a CCO with like some intensive orders, no jail time. I'll hand in 27 AK-47s. So in effect, because our arrogant, mismanaged police in the higher offices, not those lower ranked ones, don't mistake this for 1 second, because they're the ones who get tarred with this same brush. The arrogant cowboys tar the brave first responders with the same brush. It's disgusting. So in effect, organised criminals were stooging, were conning high-ranking, arrogant police who weren't following process. Now, you got to remember our court system, we're not in America. We don't have the pit bull. We don't have, hey, or Hallahan coming out here cutting a deal. It doesn't work like that in the Australian judicial system, as far as I know. As far as I know, the entire judicial system definitely in Victoria, it has to be heard in front of a judge. There's no like, hey, we'll cut your deal and, we'll do 18 with a 3 and, on a third strike policy. It doesn't work like that. It's all movies, bunkum. It's got to be heard by a judge. The evidence has got to be given, and the evidence has got to be given. How they play that is a little bit of a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yes, Your Honour, he cooperated with us, Your Honour. Well, what we're seeking, Your Honour, so the prosecution, so what happens is they hear the case and the prosecution will go, well, we don't see any reason. They don't challenge it. That's where the deal happens, in the back room, not even in the court. We don't see any reason why Michael Califf should not be released on a CC. He has very good family support and is showing great, and they're like talking with their eyes, has shown great like prospects of rehabilitation and has been very cooperative. And then the magistrate sits there and goes, okay, yeah, I see. So basically that's right. Okay, so they cooperated with police then. Well, there must be something I don't know about. Okay, well, they're not challenging it. And what do you think, defence lawyer? Well, I think my client has done exceptionally well. I've got these drug clinicians and 4 doctors' letters, and it's all puppets, it's all bonkers, it's all bollocks. But what in effect was happening in that little rorted little snout in the trough system was high-ranking, arrogant police we're getting stooged, we're getting fooled by high-ranking drug importers and drug dealers to literally flood the streets with more methamphetamines in exchange for the removal of guns off the street of southern Afghanistan. Literally, that's what it was. Literally, for 15 years. Now, why I mention this is because I still have barbs made, still have police trying to hound me, still have leftovers from the dodginess that is the prison system, still know of people who can't get up off the ground because the system is just that ugly, arrogant and mismanaged. Because I know of stories of, I told you I have to try and hold myself back from getting angry. I know of drug addicted sex workers being used in the most degrading of degrading ways, not to prevent anybody from getting decapitated, not to prevent 250 kilograms of methamphetamine coming in on the wharf. None of that. Just to get at somebody who dared challenge them. These disgusting, toxic people were using weaponized sex workers to get at people, but hang on, and then rewarding them, these same arrogant police types who were getting conned into letting drug importers out in exchange for fake gun imports, were overriding child protective services, and in effect, they bribed them, they coerced these drug addicted sex workers to get them to do their dirty work for them. In this case, it was literally a weaponized sex offense. Again, not to solve crimes, just to get at people, and then rewarding them, hanging their toddlers over their head. Like, here, you can have your, I know you're struggling with your drug addiction, but look, you do this for us and we'll get you the custody of your child back. You do this and we'll get you don't worry about your drug addiction. Don't worry about the fact that you're still hanging around criminals and drug users and you got, more stolen property in your house that God only knows than a police evidence room. Don't worry about any of that. You do this for us. You get at this dog, and we will reward you with the return custody of your toddler. This happened. The names, the places, the times, the dates, the whys, the wheres, the what fors, all got given to IBAC, the Independent Broad-Based Anti-Corruption Unit. Anything come of it? You think? Let's see. Let's see if that wheel of bureaucracy is very slow, right? Let's see if in 1-2 years' time we hear of anything. Anyway, rant over. Hey, enjoy yourself. The Victoria Police still stalking, still whispering in the ear of teachers like the toxic, mismanaged rabble that you are. Enjoy yourself. You remember this, kids? Corruption never wins. Never.